It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Friday Night Live pregame show from the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Vince DeLisio, and I am joined by a couple of our talented team members. Before I tell you where I'm at, you can kind of see, you've got a picture there. We are joined by Carmen Liberto, who's in Phoenix, and Antonio Gutierrez, live from Tempe. Carmen, Antonio, how you guys doing?
Great.
Doing great. Excited for some good football tonight.
We are. We've got a lot of good stuff. So we are bringing you action not only from the Phoenix metro area. We're in Sierra Vista tonight at Buena High School, where they're hosting the Mountain View Toros. We'll get a report on that in a little while, as well as Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman. We are the broadcast team for Bishop Gorman, the Gales, and we're also in Texas. And we're going to lead off with one of our very own who's out in Burkesville, Texas. His name is J.R. Lambright. Let's bring him on, and let's kick it off with Carmen and J.R. Take it away.
Hey, J.R., how you doing?
I can barely hear you, Carmen. It's so loud here.
I can tell. So that's great. You're in Burkesville, Texas. You got the Mustangs versus the Legacy Christian Academy. How's the matchup looking tonight?
What is it?
How's the matchup between the Burkesville Mustangs?
Right now, it is 16-8 Warriors. However, we're at halftime, and they have not hit the mercy rule. In six-man football, there's a 45-point mercy rule at the half and after the half.
That's great. So how are both teams' defense looking tonight?
The who?
How are both the teams' defense looking tonight?
Well, Burkeville, six-man football is usually high-scoring games. Scores more like basketball. So the fact that it's only 16-8 at the half kind of speaks to both teams' defensive capabilities, in my opinion.
Of course. So that is, like you said, a little low of a score, but are there any standout players tonight? I know it's only halftime.
Can't hear you, Carmen.
Yeah, no problem. So you said it's only halftime, but are there any standout players so far?
So there's Cade Bryant, who plays for the Warriors. He's 6'3" and 310 pounds, and he's kind of like the post for their line. And then the thing that strikes me, though, is that the freshman quarterback for Burkeville is, let me see, make sure I get his name right, Jadarick Ballard.
That's great. All right, Jared, thank you so much for joining us. I hope the rest of the game is going to be a little bit more high scoring, but I hope you guys enjoy the game.
All right. Pleasure seeing y'all.
Vince, we can't hear you.
Okay, now you guys hear me. Oh, boy. All right, guys, we are in Texas as well, so good stuff. So we're going to send it out now to Devin Blankenship, who I believe is out at Horizon High School tonight. So let's bring Devin on with Antonio. Take it away.
What's up, Devin? How you doing tonight?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Nice to see you again, man. So you got Notre Dame Prep versus Horizon 5-0. I mean, great start to their season. What's gonna be some keys to them to stay undefeated tonight?
Yeah, Horizon has a phenomenal run game backed by Bodie Zamorano. Notre Dame Prep does have a really good defensive front. They have Nathan Jones, 3-star defensive end. So if Horizon could just keep the run game going, I think they can get a win tonight.
Yeah, you spoke about Notre Dame Prep's defense right there. They got a great one, but they're 2-3 and they lost their last game. What's going to be some keys on offense to kind of bounce back and get a win tonight?
Yeah, for Notre Dame, I think it's 100% relying on stopping the run, forcing Carter Puma to throw it downfield. If their front seven can really put in work and, just force the Huskies to throw the ball, I think that could be the difference maker for Notre Dame Prep.
Awesome. And then, yeah, when you talked about throwing the ball for Horizon, Notre Dame Prep has 12 interceptions already this year. So you think that'll be playing in the mind of Carter Puma at all when he drops back?
Oh yeah, definitely. Notre Dame Prep's defense, they force turnovers through the air, and that's again one of the things where I'm saying they have to stop the run, and they have to force Horizon to throw the ball. If Horizon can run the ball over their defense, then it's going to be tough for Notre Dame to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, and then of course it's a home game for Horizon, and when you're 5-0, I'm sure the fans are showing out. So what's the atmosphere like out there right now?
People are already showing up. We still have an hour until kickoff. We got the Kona ice truck out here. We're flipping burgers, hot dogs. The atmosphere so far is amazing. You can tell that this school really prides themselves on football.
That's amazing, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and have a good night. Have a good broadcast.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Awesome, you guys. Audio coming in okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, let's bring Carmen back in. And thanks so much, Devin, for your report. So as we prepare here, we're going to be hearing from Anissa Reynolds shortly, who's out actually where I'm at here at Saguaro High School for tonight's game. And Saguaro hosting Higley, big matchup tonight for both teams, and as we find our way midway through the season, some gut check time for both squads, and hopefully we get a competitive game tonight. Let's bring Anissa on, who's going to be joined by Carmen.
Hello, Anissa. The music sounds like it's booming, so I take it that it's going well over there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the crowd isn't too hype yet. There's not much of a crowd, but with the music and the setup here at Saguaro, it's definitely about to be pretty loud.
That's amazing. All right. So, last week, both these teams are kind of coming off of a loss. Saguaro had a close game. Highland had a little bit of a tough one. So how does the team look? How do both the teams kind of look coming in tonight?
Definitely looking really good. Saguaro really has been out here warming up from the beginning. I talked to Coach Kelly, and he was talking about how, it's basically his guys running the show. He let them, lead the way after their tough loss last week. Have yet to speak to the coach of Higley yet, but probably the same vibe from him, really, letting these athletes, lead the way.
Absolutely. So, and both these teams have very similar records. Saguaro's got 2-3, Higley is 3-2. So kind of switch records. And how do you think this matchup is going to start out?
I definitely think it's going to be very competitive. Like, both squads look very amped up. So I'm thinking it's going to be a competitive roundup. Off kickoff, I think it's going to be, pressure on both sides. So definitely excited for that.
Absolutely. And in your opinion, are there any players that the audience should be looking out for here at home?
Yeah, pretty much the entire Saguaro squad, Coach Kelly said. He said the entire squad's been working very hard this week. He's very impressed with his guys. They've been putting in the work to make sure that losses like last week don't happen again.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining, Anissa, and we'll be hearing from you for the post game. Hope you enjoyed the game out there today.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course. And we are going to go to commercial.
Hello, I'm Andrew Neeram, a junior at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm excited to show the Varsity Sports Show everything that I can offer on any side of production as I express my love for this business throughout the fall of 2025.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Valley Sports and Phoenix Metro area. My name is Jorge Anwajardo. Let me introduce myself. I'm currently a graduate student at Arizona State University, and I'm also a Navy vet. I'm hoping to bring the Valley the hard-hitting sports coverage that Phoenix deserves. From high school Friday night lights to playoff pressure, I'll deliver the facts, the stats, and the stories that matter to all Valley sports fans.
All right, you guys, welcome back to Friday Night Live here, presented by the Varsity Sports Show. Vince DeLisio out at Saguaro High School tonight, joined by Carmen Liberto and Antonio Gutierrez. Guys, big night for football. We've been finding out so far. And next up, we are going to bring on our very own Tomasa Perez, who is going to give us a little preview of Brophy and Shadow Ridge.
Hey, Tomasa, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you guys?
We're doing great over here. Now, we've got a pretty good game tonight. You know, Brophy's had an interesting couple of weeks. They face Shadow Ridge tonight. So how are they looking so far in the warm-up?
They're looking pretty good. There's a lot of excitement on the field. Right now they're getting ready to do their senior night walk. So a lot of families out here. It's pretty packed in the stands. It's going to be really loud tonight.
That's great. How's the stands looking over for the Shadow Ridge side?
Pretty good. Looks pretty empty. There's still some families out there, still some support, which is good.
That's great. And how do you think the teams are going to be going into the game tonight? You know, neither of them have the home advantage tonight. So in your opinion, how do you think that's going?
I think it's going to go pretty good. Both teams have a really good lookout for tonight. They all have their kind of the same focus. Shadow Ridge is definitely going for execution. Brophy, they want to have fun. They want to make sure they miss out on the penalties and, stay focused. And in my pregame interview, Coach Jason Jewell pointed out some good points about focusing, having a good mindset, staying away from penalties. So hopefully we don't see any tonight.
Of course, absolutely. You know, both these teams have the exact same record, so it could go really either way. How is Brophy's defense going from what you talked to the coach since he did mention about the focus?
Pretty good. He barely mentioned the defense, so it's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to bring out tonight on the field.
Absolutely. And so you did touch on the subject that the stands are pretty packed for Brophy. Do you happen to know how many seniors are going to be out there tonight?
So Brophy does have 27 seniors on their roster, which is pretty big, especially here in Arizona. I did talk to Coach Jason about leadership and how they set the tone. And he just, said he wants to bring what they learned from the past and bring that to tonight and just, leave a mark for other people.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Tomasa. And we will see you in the post-game show. Enjoy the game.
Awesome. Nice job, Tommy. Okay, we are back. And so any sense of where some of these games are going to go tonight, Carmen? Do you have any favorites so far?
I think personally my favorite has been a little bit of Horizon. I wish I could catch some more of their games. I caught a couple in the beginning of the season, and they're still going undefeated. So I'm very excited to see how they're going to play tonight. Wow.
Awesome stuff. Okay, we're going to bring on, I think we're going to head out to Desert Mountain. They are hosting Cactus Shadows tonight. We've got Ava Lambetis tonight, who will join us with Antonio. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. I just got finished interviewing Coach Dixon and the coach for Coach Hamilton with Desert Mountain, and they both gave some really good interview answers. They're both pumped. Cactus Shadows is on a 3-game winning streak right now, so they're keeping that good vibe going tonight and hoping to get the win. But Coach Hamilton doesn't seem too concerned. He seems like they've almost got this in the bag.
Yeah, they came off a 53-0 win last week. I was calling that game, and they were kind of just dominating Kellis. So what are going to be some keys for them to build on next week? But yeah.
Yeah, well, Coach Hamilton was mentioning their defense is huge tonight because Cactus Shadows has that quarterback, Donovan Dixon. He's number 2 in Arizona. He's an incredible player, and they're totally aware of that, and they know that their defense has to be on point tonight in order to succeed in tonight's game.
Yeah, and Cactus Shadows, they're averaging almost over 300 passing yards a game their last 4 games. So what could be some keys for them to keep that offense on fire coming into a tough Desert Mountain team?
Yeah, they just got to be prepared for what Desert Mountain can bring them. They're a 4-1 team. though Cactus Shadows is on that 3-game winning streak, they did lose their first 2 games. So they really do have to be prepared for Desert Mountain, especially at home base. They bring a pretty good crowd. Their student section's always so loud.
Yeah, how is that crowd looking so far? I mean, I know we still got around like 45 minutes till game time, but is it getting
45
filled?
minutes. Yeah, they're filling in. I've seen a lot of the students show up there. I think they have a Rio theme tonight, so they're all in Hawaiian gear. They're starting to set up. I think it's the student section leaders are here right now, making sure all the posters are hung up, but they look like they're going to be a loud crowd tonight like they usually are.
Well, that's a fun theme, and I mean, have a good broadcast. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, good stuff, and great job on that. And you know what? We're going to go back to back now. We're going to head it out to southern Arizona, to Sierra Vista, which is Buena High School. They are hosting the Mountain View Toros tonight, and making that trek all the way down to Sierra Vista is our University of Arizona broadcast team, one of which is joining us right now, Anastasia Ristelli. Anastasia.
How's it going?
All right, great.
So how are you doing out there? How are you doing at Buena? How's the weather looking?
The weather's looking good. We got some of the band members actually walking behind. I don't know if you can see, but they're behind me, making their way in here. Yeah, the crowd is starting to build up. We actually have some people in the crowd from Mountain View, which that is a trip from Mesa.
Yeah.
That's lovely
Well,
to
I mean,
see.
both teams are coming into this game 3-2, and for Mountain View, they scored 50 points in their last game against Higley. So what are going to be some things we can kind of expect from them offensively coming into this game?
From Mountain View, we're expecting to see their very strong quarterback in a very balanced offense. They're able to throw and run the ball. They have a low turnover rate, and their defense is strong as well. So all around, a pretty strong team. From Buena, they have a powerful running game and multi-role athletes. So those are their strengths. I know from speaking with both of the coaches today, Mountain View.
Looks like we got some bad internet there going on, some Wi-Fi. Oh boy,
long way for the internet to travel from.
Yeah,
from Buena,
I guess so. That's good stuff. But anyway, if she makes it back, we'll bring Anastasia back on to allow her to finish. Unfortunately, but we're going to keep on going. And next up, who can we hear from now? I think. Well, let's see. Maybe we'll take it out to Las Vegas. Let's see who we have in Las Vegas now. And we are the broadcast team for Bishop Gorman, the Gales. I don't know if, well, let's bring Anastasia back, and then we'll get Marla on with us.
Oh my goodness. Guys, are
Welcome
you able
back.
to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm not sure at what point you stopped hearing me.
Well, we can talk about this. So Buena in their last game, they gave up 50 points to Marana. So what are going to be some keys for them to kind of stop this Mountain View offense that scored 50 last week?
Yeah, so Buena is going to have to focus on their running game. That is one of their strengths right now. And they need to be able to hold their ground. Something they should be looking to attack on Mountain View is getting to the Mountain View quarterback, because that is the big strength for Mountain View. So, yeah, that's what they
And then you said surprisingly, there's Mountain View fans out there, which is owed to them. That's good for them. But how's the Buena section looking? Are they pumping out?
Oh, they're hyped. They got the band out there. There's a lot of noise, lots of music. Really nice vibe we have over here on the sidelines.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy your broadcast. Have a good one.
But
Perfect. Nice work. And now we're going to head out to Las Vegas, where we have Marla Mundo, who is joined with Carmen. Hey, Marla.
Hey, Marla.
Hi, guys. How you doing? I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. So you guys got a pretty exciting matchup. You know, Bishop Gorman is 5-1 right now, and last week they completely shut out their opponent, Santa Margarita. It's pretty impressive for them. So in your opinion, how are they looking this season?
They're looking really strong. They have one loss on the season so far, but their offense is still electric that they're just able to combat any offensive and defensive possessions.
That's amazing. So, someone's name that seems to be coming up a lot on the stats is Kano Watson. He's one of their top receivers. Now, is there anyone else on that team that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, you should be looking out for Micah Eugenio. He's the quarterback of Bishop Gorman. He's got over 1,500 passing yards this season and over 200 rushing yards. He's really such a spot for this team. I spoke briefly to Coach Browner pregame. He said, the team rallies behind a guy like that.
Absolutely. And, with them going up against Palo Verde, how do you think they're going to be able to match up to Gorman's?
I'm not sure we haven't seen much of this Palo Verde team so far this season, although they're on a 3-game win streak. They don't play each other that often. Last time they played, Bishop Gorman won 70-0. But I expect a little bit more of a fight from this Palo Verde team. I think they have a couple great running backs who average almost 100 rushing yards per game.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Marla. I hope you enjoy the rest of your game, and we'll see you in the post game.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good luck, Marla. Okay. Wow. Oh boy, there was some definitely some music going on there. We're going to head on out to Buckeye, Arizona, and Yonker High School. Yonker's been a great partner of ours, particularly in the spring. We covered baseball for them. We did a little bit of basketball, and tonight we make our broadcast debut for football as they have a big crosstown. Well, not necessarily crosstown for Buckeye, but Estrella Foothills. And let's bring on our very own Abigail Hardy. Abigail.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. The drive out here was pretty long, but I think it is going to be definitely worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like a great matchup. This might be the game of the night. You got two 5-0 teams going against each other. And, I mean, starting off, what's the atmosphere like there? I'm sure it's pretty high.
Yeah, the student section is slowly starting to trickle in. We still have like about 30 minutes. I see people decked out in pink, like all over. So I think it's going to be a good turnout. We talked about how both teams are undefeated. And so I think the student section for Yonker High School is definitely going to pull out tonight.
Yeah, and for Estrella Foothills, they're obviously undefeated, but they've had some closer games. But, I mean, Yonker, they're outscoring opponents 212-54. They're just kind of dominating people. So what's been their key for them on offense so far?
Yeah, no, I was noticing that too, and I was looking over, like, they have 30 plus scored points. Definitely look out for Jeremiah Garcia, who is their quarterback. But they had a couple injuries in practice, so their defensive back is not going to be in today, and also with a couple injuries on the other side. So this is also just like anybody's game. It's a really big offensive game tonight on who can play the better ball.
Awesome. And then, I mean, when it's anybody's game like that, I'm sure the student section will play, a big factor, get some penalties maybe like that. Who are some key players from Estrella Foothills we can maybe watch out for?
For Estrella Hills, definitely their quarterback or wide receiver. Those guys, I talked with their coach, and then they're missing their wide receiver who had a season-ending injury last season, so they're missing him out tonight. But they're going to keep this up as just another game, play for him, and everybody out here starting at 7 o'clock.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and enjoy some good football tonight.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Abigail. Okay, let's take it more into Central Phoenix now, and we're going to bring on Blessing Fraser, who is out at Washington High School, where the St. Mary's Knights are camped out. That's where they're playing their home games this season. Blessing.
Hi, Blessing. How are you? We're great. How are you? Sorry.
You're good.
All right, so this is a very interesting matchup. Both teams, they've got some pretty standout players from what I've seen. Peoria's got sophomore Christian Zarate with his 3 rushing touchdowns for this season. And then we've got St. Mary's with this junior, Branson Brown, with his 9 touchdowns. So how do you think those two are going to perform against each other tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Obviously, St. Mary's coming in, they were undefeated until last game when they lost against Gila River. And then also Peoria is coming fresh hot off of a win. When I was talking to head coach of Peoria, Jason Golding, he said that the main thing for them on offense is going to be to make sure that they don't turn over the ball. but then he also appreciated how well St. Mary's offense was. So I think it's just all about discipline and whoever's going to not get discouraged in the game, because they're both two talented players, and I think that they have a lot of help defensively and their other teammates on offense.
Absolutely. But then neither one of them really have the home advantage, like Vince said. They're playing at Washington High School. So how are the fans kind of showing up for both of these teams?
Nice. Well, I would say that the fans are trickling in more so for St. Mary's than Peoria. But one thing I do want to point out is that their cheerleaders for St. Mary's is here, and it looks like they have a tiny, I don't know if you can hear them cheering in the back, but it looks like they have a tiny league of cheerleaders. It looks like it's some family members, but they're girls anywhere from 4 to 6. And they're all decked out, and they all have bows with the school's name on there. So there's a lot of fans in the crowd for St. Mary's as well. So I think they're going to have a very supportive fan base, and hopefully that encourages them to come out and pull out the win for tonight.
That's amazing. So, you mentioned like what the coach is saying about what it comes down to, discipline. So how do you think the teams are looking in their warm-ups tonight?
Both teams are looking very serious. I will say I appreciate that. Also talking with Peoria's head coach, we were kind of going through the roster, and he was like, yeah, this guy's not going to be joining us today, and this guy. And I was like, and he apologized. He was like, I'm sorry, but I'm just very strict on grades. And I was like, that's more than able as a coach. So I can tell, especially in their warm-up lines, they're very disciplined. All the players seem locked in for the past 20 minutes that they've been out here on the field. And same thing with St. Mary's. They're still going through their warm-ups. All the players have all of their gear on, and it just seems like they're really excited for this matchup, and I'm just as excited as well.
That's amazing. Well, I hope it turns out to be an amazing matchup like you mentioned, and we will check in back with you later in the post game. Enjoy the game.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Blessing. Wow. So St. Mary's and St. Mary's Peoria, there's a great matchup tonight out in Central Phoenix, North Central Phoenix. As we start to consider winding it down a little bit, I want to send it out to Sacramento, California. Here's an old friend of mine. Look at this. Everybody stops by in this, but look, they let anybody in this. People. This is Lucas Ramirez here. Well, actually, why don't you jump on here? Let's do this.
Where are we all streaming in from here? This is nice.
We got some Tempe. I'm in Tempe. Nice to meet you.
Go Devils. Nice to meet
you. Yes, exactly. Go Devils.
Where are you at, Carmen?
I'm all the way in downtown Phoenix.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty far commute from you guys.
Just a little bit.
We got Vince plugging in here. Here we go. Yeah, I talked to the crew outside. I was like, where's Vince? And they're always in the trailer. And I'm like, well, he can stay there. Yeah. And they didn't know how to respond. You can tell them I said that. Yeah,
I tried to hide out from you. They had me kind of come into this area here in the corner because I knew that Lucas Ramirez would be nowhere near it to be found. But anyway, no, this is great. We might as well talk about it because we're going to do an interview here in a little while on the field during the game. But we're going to be launching a video podcast this winter. It is a relaunch, a reboot of our Overtime podcast, but it's going to be starring these two guys, and we're just going to have fun. I don't know if we're going to talk sports much, but
probably not. It'll probably be music and world affairs.
Being a real Renaissance guy like you are, and we'll throw some pop culture questions out there. I know you're a big Taylor Swift aficionado, so we got a lot of good stuff. Do you guys know Lucas Ramirez aside from him just walking? Oh man, wait till you. This is the basketball coach at Saguaro High School, by the way. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we've got to wrap up here. We've got a couple of minutes, but I wanted to bring Rodolfo Gomez in Sacramento on to talk a little bit about his game. Yeah. Okay. He's leaving now. I will. Okay. I love that guy. He's a good guy. Anyway, Coach Ramirez, he is a legend in his own mind. Okay, here we go. So let's talk a bit with Rodolfo Gomez. Let's bring him on. Rodolfo, how are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing, Vince? How's it going?
I'm great. So where are you tonight?
Well, I'm currently at Oakmont High School. That's located in Roseville, California.
You're in Roseville. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So today, the matchup of today is going to be Oakmont against Center. It's going to be an interesting matchup because both teams are pretty even. And consequently enough, Center is a team that is very defensive heavy. They average around 2.4 sacks per game. But on the other side, Oakmont is a very offense center team, which somebody to look out for will be Elijah Stevens. That's their quarterback, and they average around 208 passing yards per game. They don't run the ball a lot, so we'll see how this matchup goes.
Okay. Well, it should make for a great game, and we're going to hear from you post-game on our post-game show tonight after 10 o'clock. Tune in. We'll get an update on that. And you know, what's great about it is the reason why we're bringing you games in other parts of the country is because there's recruits, athletes at these schools that are being recruited nationally, even by a couple of Big 12 programs that are near and dear to our heart here in Arizona. So stay tuned for more from our very own Rodolfo Gomez a little later tonight. Rodolfo, thank you so much. Great hearing from you, and we will talk to you during the post-game show.
All right, absolutely, Ben. Thank you.
All right. Great. Good stuff. Okay, so anybody's going to pop by here. So like I said, guys, out at Saguaro High School tonight, we're going to wrap the show. We'll be back at 10 o'clock. Enjoy a great night of high school football. We are broadcasting 9 games in between Arizona, Phoenix, Southern Arizona as well, and Las Vegas. And we've got field correspondents in other parts of the state and the country for that matter. Tune in at 10 o'clock tonight after a great night of games that we are broadcasting. And be safe wherever you are. Enjoy some great high school football. Carmen, Antonio, last thoughts.
I'm looking forward to see what's the matchups. You know, some of these people are undefeated, some of them aren't. So I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to keep a close eye on that Horizon game. I mean, they're fun to watch. So that's one of the games to watch for sure.
Awesome. On behalf of our amazing field correspondent team across the country and our co-hosts Carmen Liberto and Antonio Gutierrez, my name is Vince Delicio from the Varsity Sports Show, bringing you Friday Night Live pregame show. We'll see you at 10 o'clock.
It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live.